Hi everyone, Brendan here, Big Bird here, trust you're all doing well. Once again, another request video, same person, which is fine, but I know a lot of people also have watched these videos. My channel's been actually doing a little bit better now that I've been doing these review videos, so I thought I might pop these out just for you to watch. So, but this is going to be interesting, because this is not going to be a single gun review, it's actually going to be sort of two. So we're going to be covering the Thompson and the Suomi. I'll also have gameplay at the end. I'll try my best to find the old clips and put them together. I have old Tommy gun and Suomi footage that I still haven't used, even to this day. So I will definitely put that at the end. Probably the Tommy gun first, and then the Suomi. So, a little bit of history of this weapon in this game. So when this game first came out, the Tommy gun, and it still applies. Tommy gun's the last weapon that you unlock for the medic class. It is the, I think it's the, God, it's been such a long time since I've had to unlock the weapons. So this was the first, one of the first base weapons that you could unlock when you finished the medic class. I think you had to hit like max rank on the class, and then you could unlock it. I can't remember what the supports weapon was. It must have been one of these guns. Yeah, I can't quite remember. Anyway, so when you reach, oh sorry, that's right. The MG42 was the weapon that you could unlock at the last level of your rank. So yeah, the Tommy gun was the last submachine gun that you could unlock. As you can see, these are the specs that I am running. As I've stated before, I'm a big fan of quick aim, and this is where I'm actually in the majority. Everything I'm going to be saying in this video, the vast majority of the community would actually probably agree with me. Usually I'm in the minority, so this will actually be a very odd episode in the sense that everything I say, or at least the vast majority of the things I say, actually are probably best taken. It doesn't help that this gun is also spammed into oblivion, and I will admit I'm part of the problem. So let's get started on the specs. So quick aim, I don't touch it. This weapon is pure run and gun in your face. Now, in saying that, you can stretch the range, and you've got 50 rounds, so you've got more than enough ammunition to spray down as many people as you want, and this is just a setup that that most people would typically run. Most people who would use the Tommy gun would use this sort of setup, and I'll be getting into a few unique things about this gun that not many people know. So, springs and swivels. Now, the actual switching weapons faster isn't that useful for this weapon if you're running this setup because of the extended mag. You don't need the faster weapon switching. You only need the sprint to fire bonus. However, I will say this, that if you're running the left tree, which is the rapid fire or light bolt, you only get a stock 20 round magazine on this weapon. So smooth and swivels is good to this tree, but it is extremely good for the left tree. Now the only bit on this gun where I struggle to decide is the last one. This is where I really struggle to decide. On the one hand, if I were to go to the Suomi and go left, right, right, left, I would have the accuracy of a base Tommy gun, and I'd have a better rate of fire. And then I think to myself, well, if I do the same thing with the Tommy gun, but I go this, I get a slower rate of fire, but my recoil control's the same as a Suomi with the recoil buffer, but I still get better hip fire. And then someone go, oh no, don't choose that, choose the recoil buffer and take it to another level and make the recoil even better. And usually I end up choosing recoil buffer, but sometimes I do choose polished action because I just can't help myself, because sometimes this is really nice to help the hip fire. Also, the difference between this, what this does is when you shoot and the crosshairs expand, this reduces that expansion and sometimes even removes it entirely. What this does is it doesn't change the expansion or anything like that. All it does is it's smaller on the crosshairs. So when you shoot That's why you've got bullets coming out of this one and no bullets coming out of this one. Essentially, this reduces the spread. This is why, if you've ever seen clips and you're wondering why they don't get like any hipfire penalties, that's the reason. That's polished action. Now, ideally, you only want to be rolling polished action if you're running a light bolt and enhanced grips, although I have been running recoil buffer with the left tree. Now, this is the ideal setup. However, I was playing a match once with a guy by the name of Self-Index. Great player, love this guy. I have some footage of him playing with me on my channel, so I think his name was also Telev too. He had a few different accounts. But anyway, check him out if you haven't, or who knows, for all I know, he could be watching one of these videos. So this guy, I was playing a match on him with Rotterdam, and holy crap, he was doing people in with the Rapid Tommy. This is how I would get the Rapid Tommy. Same principle, swings and swivels, don't choose quick aim. I'm pretty sure he was using this setup as well, so this is the setup he would have been using. Enhanced grips, light bolt, and I'm pretty sure he would have been using recoil buffer. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, enhanced grips, polished action. So I'm pretty sure he was using polished action. But I like using recoil buffer because it does reduce some of that recoil, and I find it is still semi-viable even at medium range with this setup, if you can still control the recoil, and the recoil buffer just makes it a tiny bit better, but polished action is probably the best all-round choice. So this is where, if I would say, if you're choosing the left tree, it's pretty an easy guess, you know, polished action. But I would say if you're going the right tree, it's a little bit more complicated. Do you want better hip fire? You've got 50 rounds, you can spray more enemies down, or do you want the recoil buffer? Use that 50 round mag to extend your distance to kill as many people as possible, suppress people better. So there's really no right or wrong answer if you're choosing the extended mag side, which is the right tree. But if you're choosing the left tree, I would mostly choose polished action, but recoil buffer is also fine as well. But honestly, this is also still deeply hard to choose, but yeah, sure, I'm pretty sure this is what he was using. So with this setup, you get an extremely, I'm talking like a stupidly fast time to kill at close range. I think only the Type 2A kills faster, but that's just because, you know, the gun shoots faster, even though the damage is technically less, but we'll get into that gun at another time, not that I'm ever going to be using it, because I can't be bothered. So do forgive me for that, for not doing a review on that in the future. So this is how I would have kitted this is how he would have kitted the Rapid Tommy. But yes, the vast majority of people, I would say probably about 80%, this is what they would use. They would probably use it something like this. Now, if you're looking at the sights, you're probably thinking, wow, those sights are really, really, really different. And they are different. I have this gun fully gold. I don't know why I have the stock chrome finish. I think it's just because when I have the barrel handguard, I like to run chrome finish, but then it gets rid of that gold on the top, so I don't really want to run it. And I love running chrome finish with gold, so maybe that's why I had it on. But I do have this gun fully gold, so you're probably thinking, oh, where's the sights? There's just one problem with this gun. I love running iron sights because I'm a bit of a traditionalist, if you will. I don't really like running the 1x, and also I like the increased zoom level that the iron sights offer. So if you go to the gold-plated iron sights, you'll have the old 1928 stock factory manufacturing sights. These are also the real-life sights that they would have probably have had, give or take a few different addendums. It's obviously just a game, but this is the sights that they would have had, and that thing at the top there is the Blish lock. And they later replaced that with the side-mounted M1A1 receiver, and they toned down the fire rate, and they removed the magazine. That's the reason why this gun, this version of the Tommy gun can have drum mags, 20, and some were also made with 30 and 50 round drums, but the M1A1 was replaced with basically just stock 30 round mags. So that's why this 1928 can only hold 20 or 50, and the M1A1, which is not in the game unfortunately, which is very bloody sad. I would have loved to have seen them add a specialization for this weapon that can turn this gun to an M1A1. You know, you get like a reduced rate of fire, maybe slower reloads because you're running a 30 round mag and not 20, but you get obviously better recoil control, bigger magazine, a slightly reduced rate of fire, maybe like 700 rounds per minute. Again, I'm just thinking out loud. Anyway, so I do not run gold sights, even though I really want to run it fully gold, but I just can't help myself. That just blocks all the view. I was looking through the iron sights, and I know a lot of people think, oh, these are just cosmetic. That is actually not true. That is 100% not true. I encourage you to go on all guns and try and find any differences in the sights. Some guns don't have any differences. You will not find any differences on the sights. They are all basically cosmetic. But a few guns, like the Tommy gun, are not cosmetic. As you can see, it doesn't really matter which one you want to choose. I'm probably going to choose Flora, because I like the green on it, and I'm a big green fan. So, with this, you'll notice that it's just a peephole with the bush lock and the sight at the end of the muzzle. And you'll notice it is a lot more cleaner. So, if you ever see me in your lobbies and you're wondering why I'm hitting you halfway across the map with iron sights, and you're thinking, how the hell is he seeing through those sights? Well, that's the reason. You want to be running this. Not many people know these sights are even in the game, so if I've cleared this up for anyone, I know Saddam Ali, he will be surprised when he sees this, but if I've cleared this up for anyone, then I'm happy I've helped, because no one knows. I don't think there's a single person who even knows that this sight actually makes a huge difference to your aim. Now I know people say, oh, you can just run the 1x. Okay, that's a pretty cop-out answer, if you will, but like I said, I'm not a big 1x fan. So, also when you run the drum mag, you do slow your reload down by about 1/3 of a second, and the standard stock reload on the Tommy gun's 2 seconds. So you're looking at just under 2.5 second reload, which is still faster than the Suomi. But obviously, you know, that's not a huge issue. You know, if you're holding 50 rounds, the downtime needed to load a bigger drum magazine, if you will, is not a huge problem. So don't really consider that a weakness. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Also, this shoots 45 caliber ammunition in this game, and 45 caliber ammunition is stupidly strong in real life. Like, it is like 2.5 times the power of a 9mm round. However, in this game, there is no difference between... Now, I know, yes, the grease gun is 45 caliber, and that does more damage than all of them. Please humor me for a minute. I know I just sounded like I contradicted myself. Just humor me for a minute. I think that's just... It's more because of gun balance rather than actual caliber, if you will. Like, if the grease gun shot at 450 rounds per minute, which it does in real life, obviously, you know, you have to scale the damage in order to compensate for the shittier rate of fire. Again, humor me for a minute. So, this gun, in real life, and in game, fires the powerful 45 caliber automatic Colt pistol. However, in the game, it is the same damage as most of the SMGs in this game, with the exception of the Type 2A, Type 100, and the grease gun, as I mentioned before. So, honestly, I don't understand. Now, I understand gun balance, but they could have just nerfed it and buffed this in so many other ways that I've suggested. Again, it's just a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. I'm surprised this gun doesn't get like 7 hit kills at a distance instead of 9. I'm surprised it doesn't have a better headshot multiplier or better bullet penetration or whatever. But again, that's just a little pet peeve of mine. Now, onto this Suomi. Oh, and by the way, I have this gun fully minted as well. The Suomi. Okay, when I first started playing this game, I basically only ran the Tommy gun and, of course, this beautiful thing right here. Easily one of the most gorgeous looking submachine guns. Like, you don't even have to have this thing, like, fully gold like I do. I have this thing fully gold, but I don't like running the gold stock because I don't like that grip. It looks a bit odd. So I like running chrome finish. As I said, I like running chrome finish with gold. This is easily one of the most amazing, beautiful looking guns in the game. It is, if there's... Now, I'm just going to throw my opinion straight out there. This gun is not as good as the Tommy gun. The vast majority of people would probably agree with me on that. At least in my platoon anyway, the Ethereal platoon, the vast majority, I mean, there's literally the biggest meme in Ethereal, outside of us getting accused of hacks all the time, is we're a bunch of Tommy gun scrubs, if you will. Before the Type 2A was added, you know, this is before the Type 2A. Obviously the Type 2A is technically better than all of them at close range. But before they added the Type 2A, Ethereal, at least in Oceania, was known as the Tommy gun spraying scrub clan. You know, we all ran Tommy guns and medic and would drop like 50 kills per lobby and, you know, destroy everyone. I mean, obviously it's sort of true. I mean, I have to admit I sort of probably contributed to that because I was one of the first few people in my platoon to not only get, well, this is before I even joined, I was one of the first few people in the country to even get the gun max level and unlock it. I unlocked it very early and I spammed the living shit out of the Tommy gun, but I also spammed the living shit out of this thing. Like I said, when I first started playing, these were the only two guns I really used. There really isn't a difference between the Tommy gun and the Suomi. The only real differences are the looks, the sights, the reload speed. The Tommy gun reloads 2 seconds, Suomi's 2.5. The Suomi and the Tommy gun have the same bullet velocity. So you're probably thinking, well, if the Tommy gun shoots slower, but it's only reloading a little bit faster, why not cop the reload hit and just use the Suomi? That's the problem. The Suomi has more recoil. It's not uncontrollable, but there is more recoil. It's definitely more noticeable. And I run this gun basically use the light bolt on the Suomi. I've used it occasionally, but the reason I don't like it is because I find the 900 round per minute Tommy gun is more than fast enough to rip people apart, and I don't have to worry about burning through my ammo or getting way too much recoil. With the Suomi, I find, like, I feel like I'm using a Type 2A that doesn't have a bigger magazine, that still shoots slower and is only getting an upside in damage, and still yet reload slower. You know, 981 rounds per minute versus the Type 2A's 1028, but the Type 2A has a bigger magazine, technically better hip fire, and shoots faster. So I don't see the point in running the light bolt. Now, if this were before the Type 2A, I would say sure you could run it. Don't get me wrong, 981 rounds per minute, 81 extra rounds per minute, base over the base 900 round per minute Tommy gun with the light bolt, definitely faster. But I do not run the light bolt because you simply burn through ammo way too fast, and it's just not worth it. I mean, most guns in the game don't even shoot faster than 600, 700 rounds per minute, so the fact that you have a weapon that can shoot at nearly 800 rounds per minute and has a 50 round mag, that's more than capable of ripping people apart. So this is where, again, I'm in the majority, the vast majority of people would agree with me that this is how you would run the Suomi. Okay, now, like I said, the last one is purely your choice. This is where it's still very hard to decide. Although, funny enough, it's probably easier to choose polished action because, again, the Suomi has better hip fire. So, polished action is good. And if you're going to be using recoil buffer, it'll just take it to the base Tommy, so then you'd probably think, why not just run the base Tommy, cop the fire rate hit, and you can still get better hip fire. Your choice. I'm not going to debate which one is better. Tommy gun, I would argue recoil buffer is better, but on the Suomi, it's basically 50-50. No unique sights on this weapon, unfortunately. I don't notice any differences on the sights on this gun. I have a few pieces mint. I've got the barrel mint, I've got the muzzle mint, the sights mint, as you just saw back there. Don't have the receiver minted, I've got the magazine minted, and I don't have the stock minted. So I only really have to do the stock and the receiver. Not that I'm going to be doing this. I mean, mint's cool and all, but, you know, obviously I prefer my gold camo. So, that is the Suomi. Again, sorry if I'm being a bit harsh on this gun. I'm really not. Like, I still have great love for this gun. I have a lot of feelings towards this weapon because I've used it a shit ton when I first started playing. But even the Tommy gun, I stopped using that for quite a while, and I started moving on to the more medium rate of fire, lower rate of fire SMGs, MP40, this Sten gun, and my beloved Beretta 38. Everyone knows I love that gun. I have dozens of videos of that weapon, which I'll be sure to do a review on later, if you are willing to listen to that. Although, if you don't want to listen to it and you want me to do another gun, be sure to tell me. This will be uploaded to YouTube and all the Facebook Battlefield group pages, so you can all see it there. So this is how I would run the Suomi. Don't really know what else to say. This weapon is also ridiculously long, and it is in real life. This weapon is actually very long in real life, and it is extremely heavy in real life. So how soldiers running around with this thing, I will have no idea. And by the way, this is just with the 50 round mag. They also had a 71 round drum. If you think the Tommy gun's drum mag was heavy, with 50 rounds, imagine running around in the snow of Finland against Soviet forces, and you've got a huge 7.1 round drum, and the gun's heavy. I mean, the thing would have basically no recoil, and this gun was extremely accurate in real life. And Forgotten Weapons, he even did a review on this weapon, and he said that this weapon has amazing recoil control. It's just, this gun is so stupidly, unnecessarily heavy. But then again, that sort of contributes to lowering the recoil. Now, obviously, this is just a game. Weight doesn't matter. Your soldier doesn't care whether he's running 10 round mags, 100 round drums. It's not going to make a difference to the weight of this weapon. And yes, in real life, you can run 20 round mags on this weapon, although they were very rarely used because they simply didn't have enough firepower. So this is a double stack 50 round mag. Very, very nice. This was meant to replace the drum mag. So my theory was that the reason why they didn't want to add a 7.1 round drum is it would probably make it broken, and it would be better than the Tommy gun because you just cop the recoil hit and use the 7.1 round drum and have a faster rate of fire. So I think that's the reason why they didn't add the 7.1 round drum, was because then the Tommy gun would be outclassed. So that's why we don't have a 7.1 round drum, people, but that's just my theory. Also, that lever at the end, again, I'd like to think of myself as a gun enthusiast, but what I find odd is when he reloads, he doesn't really, it doesn't look like he's pulling the lever back. It looks like he's like toggling it upwards. Again, that's just me. Anyways, don't really know what else to add. Thank you for watching, I guess, and I'll be sure to do another review whenever it is, and whatever time I can get it down. So be sure to tell me what guns you want to see next, and I will have gameplay at the end. So thank you for watching. Catch us all later.
Ich habe Medikamente für dich.
Objective Delta!
Haltet mir eine verdammte Stellung!
Objective Bertha is ours! Objective Delta is lost!
Davor müsst ihr euch hüten!
Das da! Dort müsst ihr vorsichtig sein! Halt still, das haben wir gleich.
Ich bin getroffen! Ich bin getroffen! Helft
We have taken
Ich
Objective
lasse es nicht
Nova!
sterben.
Emil, bleib nicht hinter mir!
Objective Anton!
Hilft mir irgendwer, ihr müsst mir helfen! Ja! Sanit...
We have lost control of Objective Bertha!
Hallo Soldat!
Emil is now ours.
Seht euch das an! Gefährlich, oder?
We've taken objective Anton. We have lost objective Emil.
Mit einer Rauchgranate! Halt still! Bin ja da! Hallo? Sanitäter? Ich sterbe! Mich auf mich! Wir brauchen Sanitäter!
Be aware, we have lost objective Nora.
Ziel verloren, verdammt!
Genau da! Das ist gefährlich!
We've taken objective Caesar, Doctor. We have taken objective Beta. We are losing objective Caesar. Damn, we are losing objective Caesar.
Keine Sorge, ich helfe dir!
Seht ihr das? Gut!
Scheiße! Scheiße! Helft mir! Ich bin getroffen! Hilfe! Erste Hilfe! Hier!
Objective Dora is ours.
Vorsicht! Seht euch das an! Da ist Gefahr! Vorsicht! Aufpassen, Soldaten! Seht ihr? Ja! Sanitäter! Ich sterbe! Helft mir!
Keep at them. We are winning this.
Greif zu! Erste Hilfe!
We've lost objective Anton.
Erste Hilfe! Greift zu!
Well done. We have taken objective Anton.
Hier! Erste Hilfe für dich, Soldat!
Verletzt! Kann mir jemand helfen?
Attention, we have lost objective Dora.
Greift zu! Erste Hilfe! Ich flieg dich wieder zusammen! Rauchgranate! Seht ihr das? Verdammt gefährlich!
We have now taken objective Bertha.
Hallo? Sanitäter? Ich sterbe!
Objective Dora has been lost.
Da bist du ja wieder!
Wir müssen mir helfen.
Ich flick dich zusammen, ja?
Danke.
Rauchgranate kommt! Wir besten Grüßen! Ich bin für dich da!
Hallo, Sanitäter! Guter Abschuss!
Das wird dir helfen!
Good job. Objective Caesar is ours.
Halt still! Bin ja da! Ich lass dich nicht sterben! Erste Hilfe, greif zu!
Sonst sterbe ich! Danke, Doktor!
Erste Hilfe, Soldat!
We are losing objective Caesar soldiers.
Hat jemand Munition für mich?
Ich sterbe!
Good work. Objective Emil is now ours.
Zum Glück hast du mich!
Seht ihr? Das ist
Rauchgranate geworfen!
Ich eröffne das Feuer!
Ich sterbe! Helft mir! Ich bin erledigt! Helft mir! Brauchen Sie... Ich bin für dich da.
Danke, Soldat.
Das wird dir helfen, Soldat.
Attention, we have lost objective Emil. Good job.
Damit
Objective
kommst du wieder auf die Beine. Erste Hilfe. Da drüben, bleib wachsam. Ich flieg dich wieder zusammen. Ich helfe wohl. Ich bin getroffen. Hilfe! Ich bin für dich da.
Objective Caesar has been lost. Verstanden. Euer Luftschlag erfolgt im Flusse.
Ich sterbe! Helft mir! Ich habe eine Rauchgranate für Sie!
objective Dora. Objective Dora is lost.
Noch mehr Erste Hilfe!
Good job. We've taken
Wir
objective
haben das Ziel erobert!
Rauchgranate kommt!
Objective Caesar is lost. I advise you to turn around, soldier.
Hier, ich hab Munition dabei! Hier erledigt!
We have now taken objective Dora. We are losing objective Dora.
Aufpassen, Soldaten! Seht ihr?
Die mögen mich nicht! Sind ihr Feuer auf euch?
We are losing objective Dora. Good job. We have taken objective Bertha. Attention, we have lost objective Dora. We have lost objective Emil.
Soldat!
Bewegung, Soldat!
Granate! Zum Glück hast du mich.
Das kann dir gar nicht genug sein.
Deckung! Ich hab eine Rauchgranate! Ah. Ganz ruhig. Das wird schon wieder.
Gute Arbeit. Danke. Helf mir!
Ich flick dich zusammen. Halt still, das haben wir gleich. Wir brauchen Sanitäter! Da drüben! Das ist verdammt gefährlich! Ich bin bei dir, Soldat!
Well done, we have taken objective Caesar. Be aware that we have lost objective Emil.
Komm, ich krieg dich wieder hin!
Jetzt schon nicht.
We now have objective Emil.
Ich bin geliefert! Hilfe!
Objective Berger has been lost. We must fight harder, we are losing this.
Seht ihr das? Verdammt gefährlich! Vorsichtig sein!
Well done. We have taken objective Anton.
Werfe Rauchgranaten!
Be aware, we
helfen,
have
Leute.
lost objective Dora.
Bitte! Helft mir! Hier, für dich!
We've now lost objective Anton.
Wir brauchen einen V1-Luftschlag auf diese Koordinaten.
Attention, we are losing objective Caesar.
Verstanden, Truppführer, wird angefordert.
Good work. Objective